You want to pet her?
Yeah, what's her name?
Shimmer.
Shimmer.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Easter eggs in The Last of Us Season 1 that only gamers got.
Her name is Ellie.
For this list, we're looking at the best references and callbacks to the source material that immediately stuck out to fans who played through the story. If you haven't seen the show or played the games, beware of spoilers ahead. What was your favorite Last of Us gaming Easter egg? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. A Rabbit's End and the Dawn of the Wolf.
So, is it everything you hoped for?
Got its ups and downs.
Gamers braced themselves in Episode 8 because they knew Ellie heard a cute rabbit at the same point in the story. But to their surprise, the animal got away free on the show because she tripped. Players who were happy the creators left that part out were likely equally happy to see a reference to the Dawn of the Wolf Part 2.
I saw this, right before the outbreak.
He did? Does he totally gut her by the end?
Nobody gets gutted, it's a dumb teen movie.
Within the game, Joel revealed that he had taken his daughter to see that teen drama in the past. While that backstory isn't covered in the show, a poster for the movie is still seen in the mall during Ellie's flashback. It was great to see the show nod to those animal Easter eggs and more in a variety of ways.
What are you doing?
It's all right. Can you hurry up?
Number 9. Ellie fleshes out the infected enemy types.
Everyone said the open city was crazy. Like swarms of infected running around everywhere.
Not exactly like that.
You know, people like to tell stories.
While the infected are just as terrifying on the show as they are in the game, there are several subtle differences between the two mediums. People who have played through The Last of Us tend to run into a lot more enemies during the journey. Additionally, the bloater enemy types are able to throw their own spores for extra damage. Even though the show didn't exactly follow that blueprint, they still hinted at it with one clever exchange. While Ellie is with Joel and Tess, she makes several references to the way the enemies act and present themselves in the game.
So there aren't super infected that explode fungus spores on you?
This conversation was a clever way to acknowledge the trials gamers went through as they waded through a sea of clickers.
On the other side! To your left!
All right, get ready.
Number 8, showing us one of Ellie's off-screen accomplishments.
Hey, this thing isn't budging, man. Just go, get out of here.
During the period of the game where Joel and Ellie are traveling with Henry and Sam, the two lead characters get separated when a bunch of infected show up. Fortunately, they reunite shortly after without much of an issue. Ellie even boasts about the fact that she took down a couple of infected off-screen.
When I was with Henry, I took out a couple of infected by myself. You'd be proud.
Yeah.
Instead of having her just talk about her fighting skills, the show went the extra mile and showed us. When Henry and Sam are traveling with the main heroes, a bunch of infected swarm the group. Ellie saves the brotherly duo from danger by taking down 2 enemies. Turning the gaming dialogue into an actual scene was a great way to show how capable she truly is. Number 7. Monkey Trouble.
Are those monkeys?
Must be from the old labs.
Look at them go.
The primates that Joel and Ellie run into on the show are relatively chill. However, gamers may have seen them in a completely different light. In the source material, you run into a few monkeys along your journey. But you also uncover an audio log that details what happened when a scientist had an encounter with an infected primate.
Oh no. It bit me. Oh my god.
Anyone who played the game was likely relieved that the monkeys didn't get too close to our heroes. Clickers, harsh weather, and sinister humans are all big problems already. The last thing our heroes need to worry about in the apocalypse are monkeys with bad intentions.
I'm not a threat. If I am, then I guess you can kill me.
Number 6. An accurate Mortal Kombat fatality.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's been awesome to see the Mortal Kombat franchise get so many shout-outs in the TV series. Ellie had a poster in her room that we were extremely jealous of. And when she found a broken Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet, she was disappointed that she couldn't test her might.
There's this one character named Melina who takes off her mask and she has monster teeth and then she swallows you whole and barfs out your bones.
But the best reference to the franchise fittingly came in the episode where she does get to fight. After losing the first round, Ellie figures out how to win a match against Riley with Baraka. As an added bonus, she gets to execute a fatality.
Okay, now what do we do? Back forward, down forward, low punch.
Riley's instructions on how to pull off the gruesome finishing move are entirely accurate. More than a few audience members were probably happy the writers did their gaming research.
We are many. You are but one.
Number 5. Savage Starlight Comics.
I have issues 4, 5, 6, 11.
Throughout the first Last of Us game, the Savage Starlight Comics stood out as the best collectibles. The detailed story summaries and vivid illustrations made it clear that the designers really loved the idea of this running series. So, it wasn't surprising that Ellie's love for the Savage Starlight franchise made it into the show. She's seen reading various issues of the comic during Season 1. In one case, the in-universe story even mirrored the plot. Ellie reads the Accretion issue of Savage Starlight in Episode 6.
I don't see any weird movements. Stiff? Negative. That means you're in Sector 153. Stella, can you hear me?
After reading about comic characters being forced to fight each other, she fends off an attack from her infected friend Sam. Only those who collected Savage Starlight caught on to that dark piece of foreshadowing and more.
What's that comic book say? Endure and survive?
Endure and survive.
Number 4. The villainous David comes from a heroic location.
But when the Pittsburgh QZ fell in 17, Fireflies and Fedra, I left with a few others, and that's how I ended up with our flock.
David revealed he lived within the Pittsburgh QZ before he became a cult leader. For gamers, hearing that city name was surprising. In the source material, Joel and Ellie are attacked when they try to pass through Pittsburgh.
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
The duo gets out safely thanks to their new allies, Henry and Sam. On the show, that portion of the story takes place in Kansas City instead. Adding the Pittsburgh QZ into the sinister David's past was definitely one of the strangest ways the showrunners could have nodded to the city. But knowing he came from a military-controlled place that collapsed helped explain why he wanted his followers to live outside of a major city.
They do what I tell them to do. They follow me.
Number 3. Flashforwards to Ellie's future. If you're a fan who's played The Last of Us 2, you've probably picked up on several of the seeds the show's been planting about Ellie's future in Season 1.
Or else to look but up. I read everything I could in the school library. Like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, Jim Lovell. But you know who my favorite is?
Sally Ride.
In Episode 6, she has a sweet conversation with Joel about space. Their talk hinted at a scene in the sequel game where they visit an astrological exhibit. Within the same episode, Joel mentions a desire to take care of sheep.
Sheep. I would raise sheep. They're quiet. Do what they're told.
Yeah, okay.
The Last of Us 2 notably showed that Ellie takes care of the same kind of animals in the future. Speaking of farm residents, the survivor forms a tight bond with a horse named Shimmer in the sequel. The show confirmed that it would follow that plot point by introducing the animal in Episode 6.
No way. That's our newest one. A couple months old. You want to pet her?
Yeah, what's her name?
Shimmer.
Shimmer.
Number 2. Ish's survivor story.
I heard about places like this. People went underground after Outbreak Day.
A quick shot of a drawing in the series served as a big reference to a lengthy survivor story. The illustration Joel stops to look at in the sewers features people named Danny and Ish. As it turns out, the latter person has a lot in common with Pedro Pascal's lead. Both Ish and Joel got used to surviving a certain way in a harsh world. However, everything changed when they met a child who could use protection.
But you get it though. You might not be her father, but you were someone's. See, I could tell.
Unlike Joel, Ish stayed with his found family within the sewers until the infected got in. The ultimate fate of the group is still unknown. Although Ish's story was mostly conveyed through game collectibles, fans still got invested in his complex and mysterious tale.
What happened to them?
Maybe they didn't follow the rules and they all got infected.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Recasting video game actors.
Her name is Ellie. How long have we known each other?
Although the show decided to cast new performers to play Joel and Ellie, their original voice actors still appeared in the series. After bringing the gruff lead man to life in the games, Troy Baker played a sinister survivor in episode 7. Ashley Johnson also went from voicing Ellie to playing the character's mother on the show. Outside of that duo, Jeffrey Pierce portrayed a new character named Perry years after he voiced Joel's brother Tommy in the games. But you only need to look at actress Merle Dandridge for the most obvious game-to-show casting.
My name is Marlene. I'm the leader of the Fireflies in the Boston QZ.
Why would terrorists dump me with Fedra?
Because it's where you'd be safest, and you were safe there until you decided to sneak out. And terrorist?
She played Marlene in both mediums. Thanks to great casting, gamers got to see a few performers demonstrate their talent in and out of live action.
Hey, what I do have is you. And I know what you're both capable of, for better or worse.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.